From the outside, Nenye's life looked perfect, a polished mask of luxury and success. All her posts were radiant, her clothes were designers. Smile seemed unbreakable. But when the screen dimmed, so did her sparkle. Every night, she sat alone, haunted by a nagging emptiness she couldn't quite shake. Her best friend Neka had found joy in the simplicity Nenye despised: love, family, and a life free of pretense. But Nenye couldn't resist the thrill of chasing a life that looked good to everyone else. One day, the world she has built began to crumble, and she had no choice but to face a truth she'd been running from her entire life. What good is a perfect life if it is not yours? Nenye was everything her friend wanted to be, at least on the outside. She had a perfectly curated life, designer clothes, luxury photos, and the latest gadgets. She was the picture of success, the girl everyone envied, always seen at the best places, looking her finest. But behind her seemingly glamorous life was a woman struggling to find herself in a sea of comparisons and insecurities. It all started right after college, when her close friend, Neka, got married to her university sweetheart, a humble school teacher who adored her. Nenye had always thought Neka could do better. She scoffed, laughing it off. A teacher? Neka, you deserve a man who will give you the world. But Neka had smiled, holding her new husband's hand. Her eyes sparkled with genuine love and joy. I already have the world, Nenye, she replied gently. I have him. Nenye couldn't understand it. She rolled her eyes, dismissing it as the naive of a small-minded friend. She wanted more, much more. She wanted the fancy life, the high-end love story, the kind of romance you see in movies. She didn't want to settle like Neka had. At first, Nenye's life seems to match her dreams. She met Kola, a businessman with a flair for the extravagant. Kola spoiled her, took her to 5-star dinners, and showered her with expensive gifts. In her friend's eyes, she was the lucky one. But deep inside, Nenye felt horror. Kola's attention was shallow. His affection felt more like a transaction than love. Yet, she wore her relationship like a badge, flaunting it in pictures and at gatherings, determined to keep up and prove her success. As months turned into years, Neka had her first child. Nenye watched as Neka and her husband joyfully introduced their baby girl. The happiness in their eyes were pure. Unforced, Nenye tried to ignore the pang of longing in her heart, dismissing it as a pity for her friend's ordinary life. In her desperation to maintain her image, Nenye began following her friend Ebele's lifestyle. Ebele was bold, daring, and knew how to get things quickly, even if it meant bending a few rules. One day, Ebele approached her with a golden opportunity to invest in a new venture overseas. The return, Ebele assured her, would be enough to fund a lifestyle beyond their wildest dreams. Nenye hesitated, but the lure of a glamorous future outweighed her doubts. She emptied her savings and invested it all, imagining the day she do finally arrive. But things didn't go as planned. Ebele's scheme unraveled quickly, and Nenye found herself penniless. Humiliated, she withdrew from her friends, avoiding calls and visits, while secretly crumbling under the weight of debts, shame, and self-hatred. She hid her screens, still posting pictures from her past, as if her life were flawless, while secretly crumbling under the weight of debt, shame, and self-hatred. Months passed, and one evening, as Nenye sat alone in her barely furnished apartment, she heard a knock at the door. It was Neka. She had come unannounced, a warm home-cooked meal in hand. Nenye tried to brush off her friend's concern with jokes, but Neka wasn't fooled. Nenye, this isn't you, she said softly. I see through all of it. You don't have to pretend to me. At that moment, Nenye's carefully constructed facade shattered. She broke down, confessing everything: the envy, the debt, the loneliness. She admitted that she had chased after shadows, trying to live someone else's life, all because she wanted to feel like she was winning. Neka held her hand, her eyes filled with compassion. Nenye, I have never measured my happiness against someone else, she said, and neither should you. Happiness isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's about finding peace right here with who you are. Nenye sobbed as Neka's word reached her heart. She realized how much she had sacrificed: her friendship, her peace, her true self, all for life that was never hers. Over time, Nenye began to rebuild herself from the inside out. She focused on things she truly loved, like art and helping children. She left the toxic friendship and learned to embrace a simpler, more genuine life. Neka stood by her, as did a few other true friends who valued her for who she was, not for what she had. As the years passed, Nenye found herself fulfilled, not because of high-paying job or a flashy relationship, but because she had finally found peace within herself. She volunteered at a local children's center, sharing her love for art with them. In their innocent smiles, she saw a reflection of the happiness she had long been searching for. One evening, as she walked out of the center, she crossed paths with Chidi, a soft-spoken man who worked as a local baker. They struck up a conversation, and Nenye was surprised at how easy it felt to be herself around him. No mask, no pretense. They laughed, shared stories, and soon, a friendship blossomed that grew into a deep, honest love. When they eventually married, it was a simple ceremony surrounded by close friends and family. Nenye looked around, tears of joy in her eyes, seeing the love that she had been with all along, love that she do overlooked while chasing an illusion. Years later, Nenye shared her story with a young woman at the children's center, reminding them that life wasn't a competition. Chasing shadows will only leave you lost and empty, she said. The moment you stop comparing, you will see the beauty in your own path. Neka, now a mother of 3, watched her friend with pride. They had taken different roads, but here they stood, side by side, each happy and whole and complete in their own unique way. This story reminds us that true happiness isn't found in the glow of others, but in the light we cultivate within ourselves. And as Nenye would say with a warm smile, don't waste your life trying to be someone else. Love who you are, love your flaws, love your all, and watch the world embrace the real you.